We're all in for asymmetric, right? You know me, I love some asymmetric tactics. They just seem to work a lot of the times that we've seen them. At least in FM23. FM24 has kind of slid down a bit with them, but we are going to see how it works for our three teams, our two Premier League teams of Liverpool and Aston Villa, and our championship side of Ipswich Town in just a minute. But as you can see, it's fairly standard. I mean, it's a perfect example of an asymmetric, so let's just head in and see what the Premier League teams have done. Well, Aston Villa are the ones that come in second this time around. Second in the league, 72 goals for, not a high tally. There's 77 points. Liverpool in fifth place, 65 goals for, 69 points. Again, as usual, you could definitely pick that up a bit if you took control of either of these teams and do your own training tactics, transfers, things like that. But you know what? Aston Villa is doing really well. Liverpool, not so much. Well, it's one of those tactics where Liverpool and Aston Villa bump heads time and time again. As you can see, Aston Villa drop out in the EFL Cup quarterfinals to Liverpool, 3-3 in penalties, but they have a fantastic FA Cup run all the way to the final, beating Liverpool 6-0. How is that possible? 6-0. But you get a trophy. But that is your only trophy of the season. Fiorentina drop you out in both legs of the Europa Conference League semi-finals. Nah, I mean, that's not great, but semifinals isn't too bad, I guess. So this tactic has definitely worked wonders for Aston Villa. Second place in the league. You're supposed to be around 10th or thereabouts. Conference League dropped out in the semis. FA Cup, you get the trophy there. Carabao Cup dropped out in the quarters. Overall, not a bad job. So I'm really hoping to see some good things here. Goals-wise, 34 for Ollie Watkins. Now we're talking. Ramsey with 23. Assists-wise, 20 for Diaby. Digne, though, all the way down with only 5. Interesting to see. Average rating, Jacob Ramsey was 737, 728 for Diaby. It's a pretty well done season for Aston Villa. Liverpool don't fare nearly as well domestic cup-wise. Arsenal, EFL Cup final, 1-2. I mean, you get to the final, which is great, but Arsenal 1-2 loss. FA Cup final, we've already seen 0-6 against Aston Villa. That is astronomical. Arsenal seems to be the bogey team of the season, though. Out in the Europa League final, 0-4 to Arsenal. I mean, you're just getting crushed in some of these matches. So Premier League, 6th place. An absolutely awful job right there. However, I mean, you don't get any trophies, but look at this. Runner-up in the Europa League, runner-up in the FA Cup, runner-up in the Carabao Cup. I mean, once a bridesmaid, never a bride, but you're getting to a lot of finals, which is great. Unfortunately, you're just not converting any of it. So this squad list will definitely be a bit different from what we've seen in the past. Injured. Yeah, 6 days to 2 weeks. Okay. But goals, 20 for Szoboszlai, Salah with 17, Nunez only with 16, assists-wise 12 for McAllister, Salah with 11, 10 for Trent and Szoboszlai. Not a lot there. Average rating, though, 7.34 for Szoboszlai. Yeah, if you get Nunez firing again, that's when you win the title, and that's when you get a lot of different trophies. But this time it just didn't work. Data hub for Aston Villa, shots per game through the roof, not quite to the top, but you get some good attacking numbers overall, you know, fairly standard to a little bit above standard for them. For Liverpool, though, fouls against per game through the roof. A nice little cleave right there, but non-expected penalty or non-penalty expected goals per 90 and the shots per game, very well done. Goals is just where you're losing out. Premier League stats, most goals, Aston Villa there was 72, Liverpool in 5th with 65. Fewest shots against Liverpool in 3rd, Aston Villa in 6th. Possession, Liverpool finally beating Aston Villa this time around, but 57% it's a little higher than average. 55 is about average. Most dribbles made, Aston Villa in there solely with 6th place. Most tackles won, never in there. Best pass completion, Aston Villa do get 3rd, Liverpool in 6th, but 89% apiece. Liverpool with most shots for with 545. Aston Villa only 2 shots lower with 543. So overall, I mean, we've definitely seen better, but it's not too bad at least. But what about Ipswich, you may ask? Well, 4th place. Fantastic positioning in the table. Fortunately, you're in the playoffs. Unfortunately, you lose out somewhere on the line. 86 points. That's a big disparity between Southampton, Leeds, and Ipswich Town. 82 goals for, not too bad. Where do you lose out, though, in the playoffs? It's the semifinals. Ipswich Town losing out to Blackburn 3-1 in aggregate. So EFL Cup, FA Cup, pretty much the same. Not expected much, but that's usually what happens. So overall, the Sky Bet Championship, fantastic positioning in the table, but you lose out in the playoffs. Unfortunately, no promotion this season. You get the, FA Cup and Carabao Cup. Again, you're not expected to go far, and you really don't this time around. So let's take a look at Ipswich Town's squad. You can see goals, 13 is the top for Hurst, very low for him. Assist-wise, 11 for Broadhead. Again, these are some low numbers. 7-11 for Broadhead. Jack Taylor was 7-10. You definitely need to bump those numbers up. I mean, you're still pretty far down from Southampton, but you can make up a little bit of ground and at least get somewhere in the playoffs maybe. Well, Championship League stats, you could see most goals all the way down in 7th with 83. Again, I mean, a couple more, you're up in this table right there. Few shots against in 5th place. Most possession in 4th with 56, about average. Most dribbles, Ipswich Town all the way down in 8th place. Tackles won. Nobody's ever there for some reason. Best pass completion, though, in 5th. And most shots for, not even in the list. So tactically, we are starting off with a goalkeeper in defend, wing back on the left in support, an inverted fullback in defend on the right, ball-winning midfielder in defend, an advanced playmaker in support on the line, next to a winger in attack. You do have some player instructions, an inside forward in attack on the left, an attacking midfielder in support on the right, and a complete forward in attack up front. Positive mentality, in possession attacking width is fairly wide, play out of defense, passing directness is shorter, tempo is slightly higher, and mixed crosses. In transition, counter press, counter, distribute quickly, and distribute to the back line. And then out of possession, a high press line of engagement, a much higher defensive line, trigger press much more often, and prevent short goalkeeper distribution. So how did it do in the end for our 3 teams? I mean, Ipswich Town getting to 4th place, but you're losing out in the playoff promotion spots. It's unfortunate right there, but it gives you a fantastic footing for the next season. So 4th place is a fantastic place to be. Liverpool and Aston Villa, well, Aston Villa clearly the winner here. 77 points in 2nd place, a fantastic job. Liverpool in 5th, not so fantastic. A lot of runners up. You definitely could have, I would definitely try something different for Liverpool. Aston Villa, this could be where to go and a way to look. But that is it for me, Sefian FM, for the Football Manager blog channel, saying thank you as always for watching. Take care and enjoy.